Is we're beginning a series with my help of my trusty guy here of vlogging. So if you want to own a dog training facility someday and you want to figure out how to do it, what it's like, and how you train dogs, then this is what I'm going to do, is kind of share my life with you. So first and foremost, we got this guy in this morning. He's a board and train. He growled at me. You can tell he's a little skeptical of me. So here's the thing with him. My quick diagnostics with him, he's a 1.5-year-old pit bull mix, mastiff mix. Pulls on the leash, she can't walk him anymore, reactive, trying to get to the other dogs. He's growling at me right now because he sees him with the camera. You can hear the low growl. Hear it? Yeah. So, very sketchy on new things. But here's the thing. He came into a family of 5 dogs. So here's the 5th dog. And what generally happens with dogs like that, if they're the 2nd or 3rd dog coming into the family, they're the 5th one in that relationship with the human. So you have the human, and then you have these dogs that he's been navigating if the relationship and the leadership's not strong from the human. So a human becomes just like a pack member. And right now he's been around like the family members, 3 people in the family, but he hasn't been around a lot of people and a lot of exposure to people. And he really has no idea that the leadership should come from the person, not the other dogs. And so that's why you're witnessing him growling right now. And this is obviously my opinion from working with hundreds of dogs, thousands of dogs. And why he's just fearful, because his mechanism for dealing with a human is like he's dealing with another dog, like one of his pack members. So right now he's growly. He hasn't shown his teeth, but recognize that dogs, if a dog's going to bite, so the first thing they do is they're going to give you a growl. Second thing they're going to do is they're going to keep their mouth closed. Dogs bite from a closed mouth. They don't bite from an open mouth. So what dog will do this, he'll show his teeth, so he'll growl, show his teeth, and then bam, he'll snap. So right now, if you get down here and look at him, right, he's growling. He's got a closed mouth. Now, the next thing he'll do is, if he's really serious, is he's gonna put his upper lip up. He sees the camera, he's not too sure about the camera. He's kind of, you can see him sniffing for information. Yeah. He's just very uncomfortable. I don't think, he's not a mean dog, he's just fearful. So that's our first dog today that we took in. I'll show you the next dog that we took in, and we got a board. So I got 2 board and trains this week that I'm doing. I do my board and trains in 7 days. My training is super intensive and it's holistic. So what I do is I focus on diet, exercise, pack connection, and then it's operative conditioning 5 times a day for whatever behaviors that I'm building. But it all starts with the placemat, and all their food for the whole week comes from my hand to their mouth. So this dog, once I know I have a win with this dog, is when, his name is Rex. Once I know I have a win with Rex, he'll be eating that meat from my hand. I get him off the kibble, I put him on a raw diet, and then we cut it up in chunks for the, I'll show you what it looks like real quick. We use Midwest Legacy beef, 80-10-10, but the benefit is that this stuff is gold to the dog, they love it. And then what we do is we have a meat saw. We'll cut it into chunks. We feed it to the dogs raw. I mean, usually thawed. This isn't thawed right now. This is frozen. But that's what I'm going to use for my training, and that's where all his nutrition will come from this week. Then I'll connect him with neutral dogs, like Darla is a neutral dog, my mentor. Darla is going to be a big help to him, to acclimate him to that human connection and dog-to-dog relationship, to be a little bit more centered. He does well with other dogs apparently and the pack because he's doggy. He's learned to navigate the dogs, but he hasn't really learned to connect tightly with a human. Graduation day on day 7 will be, he will go to Home Depot and he will sit in the end of the aisle, and then I'll walk to the other end of the aisle and he'll hold his stay as long as people walking by, whatever's going on. And then I'll walk back to him and then I'll release him. I'll tap him and say, good, break. The big mistake people make is they teach a dog sit, but sit should mean stay. And stay and sit on place is where I teach that at. So we'll do tons of repetitions, as you guys will see if you watch these video series over the week after I connect with him, to teach him that when I tell him sit, sit is stay until he's released with a break command. So next dog, I've got, also the other thing is, guys, you got a bunch of different dogs, a bunch of different personalities. The new one's coming in here. It's very sketchy, the leadership piece. You just can't throw the dogs together. You're gonna have a major fight. So I want the dogs connected, but I won't connect the dogs until I know it's the right time. Time is our ally, meaning the longer everybody's together in calm states, the longer they're together in calm states in separate crates, they start to build a relationship. I can start to mold the relationship and get them together. I manage a relationship so there's no dog fights. But sometimes you get like 2 dominant males, those 2 dogs ain't getting together. Generally speaking, I can tell if the dog's been fixed, that one's been fixed, other dogs, the only dog that hasn't been fixed here is my dog, the big Borbal. And as long as everybody submits to Amos, then life is cool. So I'll take you out here real quick. We've got a couple other dogs. I have Patrick. Hey, buddy. This one here is in for training. This is Otto. Oh, Otto. Yeah, Otto I think is about 2 years old. The thing in Otto, and I know Patrick, he's a neutral dog. He's in here. I've trained Patrick. And I know those 2 would play together, so I'm let them disperse some energy. It's going to be 90 today, so I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock and we start working on training right away because I'm going to get my training in between 5 in the morning and about 1. At 1 o'clock, it's too hot for the dogs to be out and do work. So I get all the energy done, all the training mostly done in the early morning. By 1 o'clock, I shut down, and from like 1 to 4, the dogs nap. And then 4 o'clock, I'll come back out, and then we start again because the temperature starts to drop about 5:36. I can do a little work inside, get them starting to move in the right direction. We do car rides because it's a really good place for the dogs to meet. Realize that a car ride gives the dog more enrichment than our walk. So they've proven a half-hour car ride gives the dog more enrichment than an hour walk. So get your dog familiar with car rides. And people make the mistake that the only time the dog ever goes into a car is they take them to the vet, and then the car becomes a bad experience. But once you're really good and connected, we just did a, 2,500 mile trip with my dogs. You would never even know they're in the car. They just love it. And then wherever we go, we would open the back door. I pull into a rest area, I open the door, they sit. I say, out, no leashes. They go out, they do their stuff. I say, come back in, get up, and they go. That's great relationship with your dog. That's the ideal relationship, to where you have that type of relationship and your dog has that type of freedom. There's no stress there. It's what I go for. And I'm just doing companion training. We're not doing service dog training, any of that stuff. I just want a dog that's a really tight companion with me. But we have our meat saw over here where we cut. This is an extra kennel, so I'll put dog in here once in a while when they're new to the pack, just so everybody can meet them through here. Placemat that we do some outside training in place on. Then we put a runway in between the two. So I cut a hole in the fence, and it's really just, it's not a super thorough, come on down here, I'll show you The runway gets the dogs from here to the dog park. It's just a 3-foot fence. So it's not like you're going to leave the dog out here because it's not 100% secure. But new dogs and stuff, as long as I'm walking with them, they're guide. It helps guide them and keep them in check. And you can walk down here to, you can see we got woods, and we do pack walks out in the woods. Now Amos, my Borbal, and Patrick, the black one, aren't best buddies. They used to be best buddies. For some reason, Amos just doesn't like him as much anymore, so I don't really push the relationship too hard with them. The objective is we don't want dog fights, so we put that plastic because we had some dogs last week. And you can see Amos, there's another board there. The Amos and the other one know each other pretty well. And then you got Darla, my mentor dog. Hey, Otto. No. Otto. Otto. Come on. No. Otto, come. Otto. Come. We'll be right back, Darla. Let's go. You guys are going to have a little battle, aren't you? Somebody's trying to figure out dominance here. Patrick, come. Otto, come. I don't have Otto's clicker or Patrick's. Come on, guys. So first day in, I can do work with this one because that one's, Otto's been here before. He's ready. No, he's just trying to dominate this little guy here. Say he's an older dog too, so Patrick's pretty tolerant, aren't you? Yes, yes, you're a tolerant guy. Patrick just wants to have fun. He's a big old doodle, but Otto's trying to, you know, he's got a male partner that he kind of hangs with. That's a pretty good sized dog. Otto just wants to establish that he's running the show here. So those two have to figure that stuff out. But the point I'm getting to is Otto, I can do work with today. The dog that you saw in there, until that dog takes a piece of food from my hand, not a lot I can do with that dog. But I'm hopeful by the afternoon he's going to start to get hungry and I can start acclimating him around the pack. I don't want to put him, I can put him with Darla now, my female, but not with Amos because the dog showed some aggression towards me. Amos is quick to pick that up and Amos just goes freaking crazy. I mean, he loses his mind. He picks up any energy of a dog being threatening to me. Amos is a whole different dog. This is Patrick saying quit it to Otto. It's giving him, saying I'm not going to be dominated by you. Quit fooling with me. So they got to figure it out, these two. Otto, I think you better stop. Patrick's not dealing with it. That's Patrick saying, stop it. Good, Patrick, yeah. I don't know. Leave it. So yeah, I'm going to do some work with him right now. We're going to put him on a long lead. We're going to work with him on an e-collar recall. So yeah, come on inside, guys, in a minute. We'll go ahead and turn the camera off for a minute. We'll get set up, and we'll do some work out there with him. All right, so one of the biggest mistakes, the dog had an e-collar. They had this cloth strap on it, as you can see. Cut those things off. Get rid of them. Buy a fixed strap like this. You can buy them on Amazon. You'll cut it to your size. Thread it through where the cloth strap was, okay? Now, the problem with these, they don't stay tight. So when this dog came in, it wasn't tight. And if it's not tight, guys, it ain't working. So that's starting point number one. So let's get it on here so it works correctly. Now I can tell the customer, hey, put it on hole number whatever, and it's a fixed strap. Then it doesn't come off unless I take it off. And then I know it's tight enough when the customer goes to use it for their recall. That's just a little trick I learned over the years. So, boom, boom, boom. Get it tight enough with the probe so the dog can feel it. This is nice and tight. You can put your finger under it. Now, next thing. I'm going to put a 40-foot, well, or this is a 17-foot lead that I'm going to use because I know Otto knows to come. So watch. Otto, come. Yes. Good. All right. So we already know he knows the behavior. He's just been choosing not to do it. So we're going to use the e-collar with the vibrate. And as my assistant Robert pointed out, I think it's very valuable. So the ones we were using for the vibrate would vibrate and let loose. Vibrate and let loose. So the dog feels the pressure. Even if you're holding the button, the pressure's on, off, on, off. Confusing to the dog. What you want is steady pressure. This brand, Bosic, holds steady pressure for the vibrate. That makes sense to Robert, makes sense to me. So we're going to switch from our normal ones, from the vibrate, to this one because of that consistent, continuous vibrate. Because the dog wants that pressure relieved. You don't want it to come off. And so it's confusing to the dog to pulsate. Anyways, just makes more sense to both of us. Come. So with Otto, he already knows that. Sit. He's good. Yes. So we're going to positive reinforce it. I'm going to let him drift out and get into a smell. Now, you see him there? Come. Otto, come. Sit. Yes. All right. Good. So here's the mistake people make. You got to use the lead to hold him accountable because he has to figure out that the pressure got relieved when he came back to me and he laid or sat in front of me. What he didn't know, I could tell right away when I gave him the pressure, was where it was coming from. So he needs to know, comes back to me on a recall, pressure is relieved and he gets a treat. It's positive reinforcement. And all I'm doing is to vibrate on him. Goldens, by and large, want to listen to you. Come on. Otto, come. Sit. Yes. There again. Good. Come. Otto, come. Come. Come here. Otto, come. Come. Otto. Yes. So you can see right there he was confused. He's like, do I go to him? Do I go to the cameraman? How do I relieve the pressure? Yes. So this is just repetition now. I just do this over and over and over until he's really figuring it out. Otto, come. Come. Yes. Good. Otto, sit. Hey, Otto. Come. Yes. Also, he hears a car over here. The hybrid battery that's kind of freaking him out a little bit. So he's losing a little attention. Come. Good. Otto. Yes. Good boy. So one thing, guys, this thing goes to 100. You want to start at like 2 on the shock. And they had it way too high. I want to start it at 2, positive reinforce it. And be fair with your dog. Make sure the dog knows the behaviors before you start teaching this. Otto happened to know the behaviors, so it's really just like a tune-up with Otto. The communication just hasn't been clear with him. You can see he doesn't want to walk away from me now. Otto, come. Sit. Good boy. He's a good doggy. Yes. You're a good doggy. You're learning quick, Otto. Yeah. So that's it. We're going to do this over and over and over, but you guys get the basics. We'll check in later today. I'll give you guys more updates in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this content, but it's just basically going to be me vlogging. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on editing. I just want you to see if I can communicate with my audience out there to really help them learn to train a dog. Thanks. Have a great day, dog captains.